I'm 2022 president of AACA. We're really happy to be here in Las Vegas. It was so great for the Las Vegas region of our club to step up and host this show. It's very important. We do usually around 9 of these shows a year in different parts of the country. It's great to be out of New Jersey and where my son just reported a snowstorm to be here in sunny Las Vegas. But we have a great turnout of cars here. AACA features cars anything over 25 years old. We have cars featured here from the 20s. Sometimes we have cars show up from the late 1890s all the way up to 1997 is acceptable this year. So we offer cars and memberships to people that don't even have to own a car. All you have to do is like the car club. But when these regions step up and host these events, it's very important to us. It's a lot of work for the regions. We have a lot of volunteers. We have volunteers that come from all around the country. We have people here from the Carolinas, Alabama, Texas, volunteer judges. So there's a lot of opportunity to get involved with the club. We enjoy so many facets of the club. Other than just the shows that we have here, we have tours. A lot of the local regions have local tours and hold events in their area for people who are not able to travel. They can participate in the local events. But the national tours are great. In fact, the week after next, when I leave here, my wife and I will be driving our 1991 Blazer from New Jersey down to Mobile, Alabama for a week-long tour. So we offer a lot of things to a lot of people, and it's a great club. So if you think about joining, or if you're just a spectator, these events are always open to the public for free. And we love to see the fans out, and people love their cars. All of the judges you see here from all over the country, they're all volunteers, and everyone travels at their own expense. So you gotta love this hobby, and it's all about fun. That's why we join. That's why it's a club, because it's a fun hobby to be in.
So what we do a look forward, and what's the next event?
Look
forward to seeing you at the next event.
Our next event will be the tour in Mobile, Alabama, but the event we'll have one coming up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we have one Grand National a year, which will be in Virginia Beach, and we should have probably double the amount of cars here. Virginia Beach, there's one Grand National, which is the peak of what you can accomplish in a car show. So if you're interested, we'd love to see you there. And most of all, it's about having fun.
We are participating today at the Las Vegas AACA meet, and I have here with me my 1956 Cadillac Fleetwood 60 Special. I've owned it since 1987 and participate regularly at the AACA meets when possible. I bought it, it was all original with 28,000 original miles on it. The original color, I had the black repainted, but the roof is a factory original paint. Yeah, and I had a rechroming done, and it's still the original engine, and nothing's been modified on the car at all. Yeah, including the air conditioning still works.
Who's in the back seat?
Oh, it's my mannequin. Yeah. She's part of the car club.
Oh,
right?
is that
Yeah,
right? Life
right.
member.
Exactly. And I'm actually the second owner, actually third owner. The second owner basically just bought it from the original owner and then turned the car over. And then I purchased it from him. He only owned it for a short period of time. So when I got it, it was all original, and I have some original documentation from the original owner that was handed down to me. Yeah, all the way through Southern California and all the way up to Northern California, I've driven the car. Oh, since probably about the late 1980s. I think that's when I joined it. So originally Originally, I was in Chicago, and then we drove the car to Topeka, Kansas, and Lexington, Kentucky, and Des Moines, Iowa. So that's why I put the miles on the car, which now I bought it at 28,000, and it now has 67,000 miles on it. Well, I don't plan on selling it, so until I meet my demise, it'll meet mine, and after I don't know where it's going. No, mechanically it's fine. I just had the hoses and the belts changed, so that's fine. But the car really doesn't need anything at this point. But you know, old cars, they don't need anything today, but tomorrow something goes wrong with them. So you just maintenance. Sorry that you weren't able to make it to the show. It's a wonderful show with approximately 70 cars and a beautiful Las Vegas day. So thank you.
Have a 32 Packard Phaeton. It's a model 904. The colors are factory colors that were available then. I'm not sure that those were actually the colors that came on the car. It's a straight 8. I don't remember the exact name of the colors, but they are car, since it's been restored, has been driven about 6,000 miles.
Oh, wow.
Not all me, the previous owner drove it. I've driven it maybe 300, something like that. I have always admired the luxury cars of the 30s, especially the early 30s. I thought they were some of the most elegant works of art in the auto industry. And I didn't think I would ever own one, but I wanted to. This came available through a fellow that lived up in Minden, Nevada, and he had 12 Packards. And he was thinning his collection, and so I decided it was time to pony up if I was going to get one. I have 24 cars. It's an addiction. If I could take it intravenous, I would. Most of my cars have been around the muscle car era. I have 6 or 8 old factory drag race cars, and that was my earlier or first interest in the cars, was those low production drag race cars. Some, a little bit when I was younger, and then in 2011, I bought a Dodge Challenger that they made, the factory only made 50 of them for drag racing. I got number 11, and it comes with the Viper V10 engine. And that's the only cars they ever put the Viper engine in other than the Viper. Yes, they're called pilot lights, and they turn with the steering, and then you have your traditional headlights on top. It's interesting the technology they actually had back then, but they had the challenge of making it work mechanically because they did not have the computer technology to do it like they do today. That's a factory hood ornament. They came that way from the books that I've seen on it. This car does have a couple of extra features. It has a radio in it. It's not currently working. I'd like to get that fixed. It has what they call a vacuum clutch, and they did that for the women so that they would not have to manually work the clutch pedal. As they're driving, there's got a switch on there that you turn on to activate the clutch, and when they need to shift, they just let off the gas and it shifts. Well, you shift the handle, but you don't have to engage the clutch pedal.
Hi, I'm Paula McCormick. I am part of the Antique Automobile Club here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We are currently at Lake Las Vegas, and today we brought my family's 1935 Chevy Standard. It came out of Raidersburg, Montana. It was my great-grandmother's car. I have driver's license that my uncle drove it. It went from Radersburg to East Helena, Montana, where my uncle stored it for a few years. It went from there to one of his storage units, and he stored it there for a little while, took the engine out, took it to a mechanic to have it worked on, and then took the body itself and stored it at my grandmother's house, not to be confused with my great-grandmother, at her house in Helena, Montana. He passed away in 2006, and when that happened, his twin brother, my father, went to go get the engine after the mechanic had it for a couple of years. The mechanic had it in pieces and parts throughout his garage. He never worked on it. So my dad said, pack it up, we're taking it back. And there it sat at my grandmother's garage from that point on until we bought it off my cousin, and we brought it home in 2018. And then my husband worked tirelessly on it from 2018. Took a year off because he broke his wrist, but from there on he worked on it tirelessly to find parts for it, because 1935 Chevy Standards are not easy to find parts for. They're very, very difficult. This is the standard, yes, it's not the deluxe model, correct? Yes. Other than it came out of the ghost town of Radersburg, which my family still owns the hotel. My aunt still owns that and the property that it came off of. The hotel housed the miners. So, and we just have a great family history. We don't get rid of anything. We hold on to it all. Still owning my grandmother's house in Helena. You know, that's 3 kids. So we've actually just taken it to local car shows. This is the first time it's ever been entered. So we're going to see what we're going to be dinged on and what we need to improve on. I personally like it the way it is. It's got character. I do know how to drive it. I know how to drive a stick shift. It's a little 3-speed, so, you know, it's a 6-straight? Yeah. Yeah. So, but yep, I'm one of those rare women that know how to work a stick shift. Nobody can ever steal it because kids today don't know how to drive a stick shift, right? So I like the club. I like the camaraderie of the club. We go along and we do different. I mean, Las Vegas is hard to go to different places because, you know, we don't have ghost towns around too much. But we make it a point to find unique places to go and to make sure we take our cars. And we really enjoy the people that are part of the club. They're great people and they're very knowledgeable, and they have helped my husband out a great deal on what to look for, what to do for this car. We've been able to get a hold of National, and they've been able to help us a lot in restoring this car. If you want to be a part of a great automobile club, join the Antique Automobile Club. It's a great organization to be a part of.
This is 1937 Cord Custom Beverly. It was specially made for a U.S. Senator in Louisiana back in 1935. He was assassinated, needless to say, but this car was built for him, as what the story goes. It was custom made. This has the longer wheelbase because it's a Beverly, custom Beverly. It has armor plated. It has a back seat, has bulletproof glass. The bottom is bulletproof. The back of the back seat and the back of the front seat is also bulletproof. The doors are bulletproof. And it also has the dual side mounts, which is one of 2 37 Cords that was produced with the dual side mounts. One's a convertible Phaeton, and the other one is the 4-door sedan. It's been totally restored about probably 4 to 15 years ago out of Canada. And that's about it. I've owned it for about a year. Okay. I bought it at a auction in the Monterey area last year, and I bought it as it is. I've cleaned it and detailed it, but other than that, it came 99% how it looks right now. I drive the car. From last year now, I've probably put maybe 400 or 500 miles on it, which is very unusual for a car like this, but I enjoy driving it. I have several other 37 Cords also. It starts up almost every time. It shifts gears every time, so there's a plus there. I have 2 other show cars, 37 Cords, and they kind of shift when they want to shift, and they kind of start when they want to start, so it's one of them.
They must be female cars, right?
Yes. No. No, I'm just going to enjoy it. It has a beautiful interior in it. Everything works on it. Even the horn works. And, toot the horn. I mean, I can do that. It's a great show. This is the first one we've been to, the wife and I, and it's a great show. It's beautiful, sunshine Las Vegas. It was cold a couple nights ago, but and it's a very, very nice show. Too bad you didn't come.
Very good. Okay.
Thank you.
So much.
This is a 1949 Diamond T truck. It's a 1-ton pickup. Diamond T was a company that built trucks in Chicago. The factory was in Chicago. They built trucks from 1911 all the way up until 1957. Pickup trucks, they call them their light truck line, which was their 1.5 ton and smaller. Those went from 1937 to 1949, and they only made about 200 of them a year is all they did. They were mostly into the big trucks. White bought out Diamond T in the year 1957. They bought out the little company called Real in 1956. Now, White kept Diamond T name going up until 67, using their engines and their cabs and all that stuff. And then they became Diamond Real. And that's where Diamond Real came from, is from Diamond T and the little company Real is where they got their name. So that's about what, this is all back to original. Yes, it's still 6-volt system. It's still got the original Hercules flathead 6 engine in it. It's all back to original, yes.
And how many miles, may I ask?
I'm not even sure what's on the speedometer. Not that many. It was low mileage when I got it.
So how long have you owned it?
I bought it in 1992 and it was restored in 1995. So I've had it since 92.
Okay. So do you have any other vehicles?
I do. I have another Diamond T pickup at home, which is a 1937, which is a 3/4 ton. It's all original outside, but it's got all Chevy drivetrain in it. So that's why I didn't bring it, because of the Chevy drivetrain.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but I got interested in Diamond T's. I'm originally from Elgin, Illinois, and which is near Chicago. And my father drove for Elgin Storage and Transfer, and he drove a Diamond T when I was really little. And that's all I ever heard from my father is Diamond T this, Diamond T that. He used to take me whenever he could. So I've really been into Diamond T's because of my father.
So is this your helper back here?
Yes, that's my helper. Yes.
Have your helper come up here too.
Yeah. Yes. Here you go. You want to take a look?
What am I going to say?
Well, tell them who you're dressed up like.
Well, I think they know. Rosie the Riveter.
Hey, there you go. Perfect.
Go Rosie. You got it.
So do you drive the car, truck?
I don't drive this one. I do drive the 37.
Okay.
Yes, he made that one an automatic, so I'm able to drive the 37.
Oh,
Yes.
Wow, nice.
Yes, so when we do truck shows, we take them both. But for the AACA, only this one's allowed to show up.
Very good. So how long have you been members of ACA?
40 years?
At least 40.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys aren't that old.
Thank you.
We've been married
51
years.
51 years.
Oh, good for you guys.
Yes,
Good
yes.
for you
So,
guys.
we enjoy doing the car shows a lot.
That's the truth.
Yes,
That's our
yes,
family
yeah,
Yep.
it really is. Yeah, usually the grandkids come with, but now they've grown up.
Yeah, they got other things.
What plans do you have for this?
Well, just
Are you going to keep it?
oh
sell
no,
it?
yeah, it'll go to the grandkids. I'll never
Okay.
sell my Diamond T's. They'll go to their grandkids when
Okay.
I have no reason to sell them.
So what car shows you go to? Where are you guys from again?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona. So there's a lot of car shows
A
are.
Yes,
lot of shows
yes.
there. We do a lot of shows there. Yes. Uh huh.
A lot of locals every weekend.
We do a lot of local. We do a lot of California shows with them. We'll take them both. There's a big truck show coming up shortly over in California. We're going to be taking both trucks over to there. So.
Would love to see everybody at the next car show in
Next
Phoenix.
car show in Phoenix. Thank you.
Antique Automobile Club of America show in Lake Las Vegas, Nevada. So this is a very convenient show for us because we live right over the hill. So today I brought our 1937 Cord Phaeton, which is our pride and joy. This is the one we really like. It's a unique car. It was built by the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company. It was the last model that they introduced, and they threw everything at it. So these cars are remarkable because, well, they're supercharged. Auburn Cord Duesenberg was known for supercharging some of their cars. The supercharged cars have external pipes, which are beautiful. They're also functional because they draw the heat out of the engine compartment. So when they built this car, Gordon Buring was the one that designed it, and he wanted a real artsy car. So they did everything. Now the car is unibody, so it sits lower than a car of that era, and because it sits low, they don't need running boards. So one of the design features of this car is there are no running boards. It also has front-wheel drive, so the front wheels are independent with front-wheel drive. This was the second U.S. car with front-wheel drive. The first one was a Cord L29. It's the last American front-wheel drive car until the Oldsmobile Toronado was introduced. And the Oldsmobile Toronado has this horizontal grille, tribute design element, and the hidden headlights. Now the hidden headlights are nice because they're nice and swoopy, but when you need them, you turn a crank and the headlights come up. And they don't have an electric motor, they aren't air operated, they're operated by hand, so they're reliable, unlike the Corvettes and the Tornadoes and all the other hidden headlight cars. This car, I don't know, I got interested in Cords at some point, I can't remember why. And I was on eBay, and this one came up for sale, and we didn't consummate the deal. So my wife and I went to the Auburn Cord Duesenberg reunion. I pulled in, I said, "There's the car right there." And she said, "Okay, fine, I'm going to go buy a hat." So she came back and I said, "Oh, I just bought a car." And the fellow that sold it to me, they've become very good friends. And so we enjoy this car. It rides very nice, and they did a great job with this car. But sadly, it was the last Auburn Cord Duesenberg car. And for all of you folks out there who are suffering in snow up to your armpits, we feel sorry for you, but we're happy to be here in beautiful sunshiny Las Vegas at the AACA meet.
Hi, I'm Michael Facchino, Vice President of Las Vegas Region, AACA. We're here at the Western Spring Nationals, and this happens to be my car. And this is a 1957 Metropolitan, and it's all original. It was owned prior to me from Enterprise Rent-A-Car. It was one of the vice presidents for Enterprise that had the car, and they restored it, and I'm keeping it up. This is the year that they didn't have trunk access. In order to get in the trunk, you had to go in the back seat, pull the back seat down, and climb in there to use it. The glove box cover is missing also, but it's not really missing. It didn't come with a glove box cover until 1959. This is an Austin 1500 engine. It was one of the early small cars, especially in the 50s. We didn't really know how to make big cars little cars in the 50s, only the big ones. And this car was actually manufactured in England. So they made them in England for the American Motors Corporation. They started in 1954, and this is a 57. So here we are in the middle of March enjoying this beautiful weather, 75 degrees. We're shoveling the sun off of the pavement. But enjoy it back east there, because I know you're not having this kind of fun back there with your car shows right now.
I have a 1929 Ford Standard Roadster that's been in our family since 1952. So we've had it in our family for 70 years. And our Uncle Harold found this as a young man when he returned from the Korean War, found it in a field in Central California and put it on a trailer and brought it home, and it's been with us ever since. So what you're looking at here, the paint, the top, the interior is all his work that's 70 years old. So my job as caretaker, and I've been that way for 12 years, is to preserve it and keep it running well. But I'm keeping it the way that Uncle Harold intended it. It's not perfect, but it's the way he left it, so I'm going to keep it that way too.
So do you take it to car shows often?
I take it to car shows and I drive it all the time. I've been here since Tuesday and I've put 260 miles on it in the Clark County already. To keep it until I can't drive it anymore and pass it along to the next generation. That's my goal. People are surprised, sometimes annoyed because I can't go very fast. But it's mostly a lot of pleasure, a lot of people happy, thumbs up. And we even had an incident one time where late in the evening we were coming home and a young woman pulled up next to us and rolled down her window, and she was in tears. And she said, "You wouldn't believe how bad my day was today, but seeing your car made me feel that things are going to be okay." So I thought that just made our day. It was such a wonderful experience. So I think people react with joy to see it out on the road. And I think particularly as I've been driving around the valley here, I don't think people see a lot of these old cars out. And so the reaction's been really positive. Probably 5 or 6 years, I can't remember exactly. I met somebody who was a member, and I enjoyed their tours so much that I said, I've got to be part of this because you guys go on the best tours.
Sure.
So that's what brought me in. Yeah, I wish you could be here. The weather's beautiful. Too bad you missed the show, and I hope you can make it next time out.